The rain fell in sheets, turning the streets of Chicago into a maze of puddles and reflections. Under the awning of a bustling diner, Emily clutched her tattered coat, her breath visible in the chilly November air. At 17, she was a ghost. In the city, unseen, unheard, her stomach a hollow drum that hadn't stopped aching in days. Her eyes, bright despite the hunger, scanned the crowd for a chance, any chance, to eat. "May I have your leftovers, sir?" she asked a man in a hurry, his half-eaten sandwich dangling from a to-go bag. He didn't even glance her way, tossing the bag into a trash can as he rushed past. Emily's heart sank, but she didn't linger on the rejection. She couldn't afford to. She moved to the next person, a woman in a red scarf. "Ma'am, do you have anything you don't need?" The woman's eyes softened, but she shook her head and hurried on. Emily had been on the streets for 6 months, ever since her foster home fell apart. She wasn't a runaway by choice. Sometimes life just unraveled and you were left holding the threads. She'd learned to survive by scavenging, by asking, by hoping. But hope was a fragile thing, and tonight, it felt like it might break. Across the street, a sleek black car pulled up to the diner. Out stepped Victor Marshall, a name that carried weight in Chicago's elite circles. At 42, he was a tech mogul, a man whose wealth could buy anything, except perhaps peace. His face, sharp and weathered, hid a restlessness he'd never admit. The diner was his ritual, a place to escape the sterile boardrooms and fake smiles of his world. He liked the noise, the clatter of plates, the chatter of ordinary lives. Inside, Victor sat at the counter ordering his usual, a burger and fries, simple, grounding. He barely touched it tonight, his mind tangled in thoughts of a deal gone sour, a board meeting that had left him drained. He pushed the plate away, half the fries uneaten, and signaled for the check. As he stepped back into the rain, Emily saw him. Something about him, the tailored coat, the way he carried himself, screamed wealth. She hesitated. People like him didn't see people like her. But hunger was louder than pride. She stepped forward, her voice small but clear. "May I have your leftovers, sir?" Victor stopped, startled. He turned, and for the first time their eyes met. Hers were wide, a startling green, shimmering with something he couldn't place. Hope, maybe, or defiance. She wasn't begging. Not really. She was asking, and there was a quiet dignity in it that caught him off guard. "I didn't take them," he said, almost apologetically, gesturing toward the diner. "They're still inside." Emily's face fell, but she nodded. "Thank you anyway," she said, turning to move on. But Victor didn't move. Something in her eyes held him there, like a mirror reflecting a part of himself he'd buried long ago. He'd grown up in a place not so different from these streets, scraping by, invisible. He'd clawed his way out, but at what cost? The memory hit him like a wave. His mother, sharing her last slice of bread with him, her smile hiding her own hunger. "Wait," he called out. Emily turned, wary. "Come inside. I'll get you something." She hesitated, pride warring with need. "I don't take charity," she said softly. "It's not charity," Victor replied, surprising himself. "It's a trade. You tell me your story, I buy you a meal." Emily studied him, searching for a catch. Finding none, she nodded. They went back into the diner where Victor ordered her a burger, fries, and a milkshake, more food than she'd seen in weeks. As she ate, she talked. She told him about her foster homes, her love for books she could no longer afford, her dream of becoming a teacher someday. Her words were raw, unguarded, and they cracked something open in Victor. He listened, really, listened for the first time in years. "You're not invisible," he said suddenly, cutting her off mid-sentence. Emily blinked, confused. "You think no one sees you out there, but I do, I see you." Her eyes welled up, but she didn't cry. Instead, she smiled, a small, fierce thing that lit up the diner. "Thank you," she whispered. That night, Victor couldn't sleep. Emily's face haunted him, her story echoing in the hollow spaces of his life. He'd built an empire, but what had he given back? The next morning he made a call, then another. By week's end, he'd set up a foundation to help homeless youth in Chicago, starting with a scholarship for Emily. He tracked her down at a shelter where she was reading a tattered library book. "Emily," he said, kneeling to meet her eyes again, "I want to help you get to that dream. School, a place to stay, it's yours if you want it." She stared at him, disbelief giving way to something softer. "Why me?" she asked. "Because you reminded me," he said, voice thick, "that kindness doesn't cost a thing, but it can change everything." Emily accepted, and over the years she thrived. She became a teacher, just as she'd dreamed, touching lives with the same quiet dignity she'd shown that rainy night. Victor, too, changed. His foundation grew, but more than that, his heart did. He never forgot the girl who asked for leftovers and gave him something far greater, a reason to believe in miracles. And in Chicago, on rainy nights, people still talk about the millionaire and the girl whose eyes sparked a movement. A reminder that one small act, one moment of seeing someone, can ripple out to heal a city, a heart, a world.